I came to this realization that at any time I could have stopped taking or started the tapering process of the psychiatric medication, but I didn't. At any time, I could have researched the medication and potential side effects, or geez, even just read the leaflet that came with the medication from the pharmacy. In honesty, all honesty, I didn't even do that. Looking back, I saved some of those inserts and they were quite informative, actually. I could have, on some level, taken the initiative to give myself some level of informed consent, but I didn't. For 12 years, I didn't. And no one held a gun to my head to make me take that cocktail of pills, four of them for all 12 years, and then a fifth one for 3 years. But yet I didn't, right? I still continued to take the medication every day without looking up anything, without doing any type of due diligence or research. Why? I asked myself, why? And the reason is because I didn't want to know and I wasn't ready to know. If the doctor knew, should they have given informed consent? Yeah, yeah, I think so. I believe so. Would it have stopped me from taking the meds? I've got another video on this. No, probably not. No, it wouldn't have. And I have my reasons. And when I was honest with myself, the answer was no. So why wasn't I ready? Why was I realistically in some level of denial? Well, here's some of the reasons that I came up with for myself. I wasn't ready to take responsibility for making the choice to take them. Because as an adult, if I chose to take them, that's on me. They could have been prescribed and I could have tossed the script and said, nah, I'm doing something else. But I took them and I got the prescription filled regularly for 12 years. So that's on me. I need to take responsibility for continuing to do that. And I was not ready to do that. I wasn't ready to admit that I ignored my gut feeling as to the reason that was given to me around why I needed these medications. Something in me, my intuition, my gut, whatever you want to call it, said, that doesn't sound right. But so I ignored my guts, which I need to take responsibility for. And I did not have the courage to say no. I didn't have the courage to, no, I'm not going to do that. And I had to admit that to myself and again, take responsibility. I wasn't ready or willing to look at what prompted me to take those meds in the first place. What I mean is the life experiences that I was seeking relief from that were coming out in all kinds of ways that just happened to get labeled as X, Y, or Z, some DSM-5 label. I wasn't willing to look at those things and take responsibility for my role in it and things that I'm not responsible for. What do I do with that? Right. So if I was not willing to at least address or try to address or look at those circumstances and those situations that I know played a huge role in my behavior and the way that I didn't want to be, and the feelings I was feeling and the experiences I was having, if I wasn't willing to look at those things, then I probably did need to stay on my medication because it was providing some level of relief. It provided a shield. And so until I was ready to address those things and try to see what life would look like if I handled my business, would I still need the meds? And if I did, fair enough, I'll take the meds. But in my case, I found that once I looked at those things and I truly healed and transformed them and saw the truth, I didn't need the meds anymore because my life was not that anymore. So I also, another reason I continued to take them in retrospect, these are all in retrospect, I wasn't ready to stop blaming myself or others for the condition I was in, for needing to take the meds, for having to, you know, eventually taper off the meds. I wasn't ready to stop blaming myself for the life that I was experiencing while on these medications. I wasn't ready to take responsibility for, I wasn't ready to fully recognize and take responsibility for the role that I played and the contribution that I made in taking these medications every day. And that is, no pun intended, a hard pill to swallow. But until I was ready to start doing some of those things, even in my tapering experience, when I was willing to start doing some of those things, my tapering went a lot smoother and a lot more easily. So, all of this to say that no one made me take those pills every day. I chose to take those pills every day, and there were reasons why I chose to take those pills every day. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is inspiring to someone who is tapering, is thinking about tapering, has already tapered. It's just my experience. Thanks for listening. Until next time.